course, they've been taken to postseason a number of years under head coach Casey Goodman. Since 2017, she has had a successful run here at Bakersfield College, and looking for another win today. For Ventura, their coach Julia Tamai in her second season under the Pirates and running that program over in Ventura. And we're looking forward to a fun one today. Our first softball game of the season that we've got to call. And we got to call a couple of them last season. They were really kind of fun. And honestly, the one thing that I can say about softball is the speed in which this game takes place.
Yes, indeed.
It's on a much smaller field. And not only that, just the pace of play.
Yes.
Really quick. We can go for a 3-hour baseball game, but this thing can be over in 90 minutes.
That's right. And the one thing that we both admire about these women, they play hard in this small space, and it's actually enjoyable to watch.
Absolutely. Really. So a good one for the Renegades today. And in the circle for BC, Lily Visser. And Visser getting what I believe is her third start of the season. And first pitch in there for a ball. The count's 1-0. Up to bat for Ventura. Bea Magana. Magana will also be in the circle for the Pirates today. That one's a little high and inside, and the count's 2-0. Out in the field for the Renegades today. At shortstop, number 9, Lexi Rowland. She'll be first in the order, followed by Sophie Oliver in left field. Alexia Marquez at third base. Liz Alderetti, the designated player. In center field, batting fifth, Emily Hernandez. Out at first base, number 17, Cambria Scott. Catching, number 8, Andrea Barajas. Of course, Visser on the mound. And in second base, Bella Harrison. And in right field, Jennifer Padilla. That one's a little high and inside. Now the count's 3-1. Magana looking to get on base here in the first inning. And that one's going to be right on the outside corner. Just painted it. And now the count goes full. Lily Visser with an earned run average of 3 and a slap hit over to shortstop. That's covered and thrown out. And the first one away here in the top of the first inning. A nice play by Lexi Rowland at shortstop to gun down Magana. And now Sammy Sosa, the right fielder for Ventura, coming up to bat. And I digress. I was incorrect on that. It's Soto.
Yeah, you said Sosa, and I'm like
Soto. Yeah, thank you for saving. Where were you on that one, Julian Wilson?
I just showed up.
The right fielder, number 5, Soto.
Well, you got the famous baseball player, Sammy
Sosa, correct,
yes.
Yeah. She's batting .250 so far on the season. That one's going to be into center field and covered easily out in center by Emily Hernandez, and 2 away here in the top of the first inning. So 1 ground out and 1 fly out, 2 down in the top of the first. Bakersfield College in white, the Ventura College Pirates in black and orange. So a swing and a miss. That one just a little bit outside. And right now, Lily Visser on the mound for the Renegades, looking very confident. Had a little bit of trouble with Magana going full count. And a swing over to third base. Alexia Martinez, a great grab over there at third base. And 3 up, 3 down here in the top of the first inning. And we're going to head to the bottom coming up in just a minute. Game tied at 0.
Hi, Bakersfield. I'm Alexia Ramirez, and I play for the women's basketball team here at Bakersfield College. This Saturday, we're hosting our Play for K game to help support and raise money for all women's cancers. You can help by donating in the link below or at the door. Hope to see you guys here this Saturday. Go Gades!
Lexi Rowland to lead off for the Renegades here in the bottom of the first inning. Rowland at the shortstop. Made a good play in the top of the first. She gunned down Bea Magana, who was heading down the line, and just got her. A couple of good ground plays by the shortstop and the third baseman. And she's going to get there in time, as the throw just couldn't catch up. She hit that one deep into the pocket and shortstop. And over to cover it, Yaya Landeros. And a little bit late on the throw down, but honestly, it was so deep in there, it was going to be hard to get that throw over to first anyway.
Yeah, that was going to be a difficult throw, to say the least. But
absolutely. So she's going to end up with a hit here in the top of the first inning, followed by Sophie Oliver, the left fielder. Oliver swung on that one's foul back into the stands. For the Pirates, today out in the field at pitcher, Bea Magana catching Leah Hicks. Sophie Valencia at third, Yaya Landeros at shortstop, Erica Sanchez at second, and Aubrey Aguirre at first. And in the outfield, left fielder Paisley Magdaleno, center fielder Izzy Padilla, and right fielder Sammy Soto. One ball, one strike to Sophie Oliver. Swung on it. It's going to get past the third baseman. That'll advance the runner to second. And now the Renegades, 2 runners on with nobody out here in the top of the first inning. And Alexia Martinez now coming to the plate. And Martinez hitting this year, .250. She's only struck out once so far, but she doesn't have any RBIs yet. And the Renegades are going to talk it over while the Pirates are getting a visit out on the mound. And this is the time right now, early in the game, where Coach Julia Tamai really wants to kind of settle down her pitcher. You know, 2 hits so far, and both of them were pretty well hit to that left side. And during the possession of that, you know, the position for Ventura, Yaya Landeros was playing awfully deep on that play, and that may have been why she was not able to gun down Lexi Rowland at first base. Because the ball really wasn't even hit that hard. Now, the second one hit by Sophie Oliver was an absolute rocket and over the outstretched hand of the third baseman. So Ventura and a pass ball, and both runners are going to advance. And that one off the mitt of Leah Hicks and just not able to garner that one and pull it in. And now both runners in scoring position here in the first inning. And Martinez trying to drive him in. 2 balls, no strikes the count. Here's the pitch. That one's high and inside. Now the count's 3-0. And Magana in a little bit of trouble here right now. And really has to throw a strike. And she puts that one right on the outside corner. A perfectly placed pitch. And you may not want to come inside on Alexia Martinez. And the Renegades have really been kind of striping that ball down the left side. And by the position of Marquez, and she's going to end up making her way down to first base. Marquez already had that back foot kind of leaning out like she was going to try to pull that thing down the left field line. And now bases are loaded with Liz Alderetti coming up to bat. Alderetti, the designated player on the squad today. Bases loaded with Rowland at third, Oliver at second, and Marquez at first base. Nobody out here in the bottom of the first inning for the Renegades. Magana with the pitch. That one well short. Bounced on the ground about 4 feet in front of the plate. I don't know if she lost a grip on the ball or if she was trying to throw a changeup that just didn't get there. 1 ball, no strikes the count. And that one hits a nice job painting the outside corner, and now the count's 1-1. Magana trying to get out of a jam with nobody out here in the bottom of the first inning. She's given up 2 hits and a walk already. And Alderetti at the plate. Pitches over the outstretched hands, and that may have been a bad idea to try to steal. She's going to get gunned down. And Lexi Rowland, there's not a lot of room behind the plate. The ball bounced off the net and came right back to the catcher, who just flipped it to Padilla, or to Magana rather, for the easy out. In fact, the ball had probably gotten to the plate a good probably second and a half before Rowland made it to the plate. So 1 down and a great opportunity here for the Pirates. So runners now at second and third, and an opportunity missed by the Renegades, but a great save by Ventura. And it counts 3 balls, 1 strike. And a chance here now for the Renegades to load the bases back up once again. Already standing in. That one bounced inside, and that's going to put her now on the base. And 2 walks so far for Bea Magana early in the game. And now Emily Hernandez now up to bat. Hernandez with bases loaded now. Three runners on, 1 out here in the bottom of the first inning. Magana's pitch high and outside. She's had a couple of those that she's lost a little bit of control on. And her first baseman coming over just to give her a pat and settle her in. It is early. Hernandez batting .125 on the season, has appeared in 2 games. I apologize. No, she's appeared in 6 games. Scored 2 runs and got 2 hits. Her on-base percentage is .211, so she does have a little bit of ability to get down to first base, whether it's a walk or a hit. Pitch inside, and the count now is 2-1. Bea Magana would really like to get out of a jam here. Renegades have yet to score. Here's the pitch. Swung on back to the net, and the count goes even at 2-2. Again, one down here in the bottom of the first inning. Renegades have the bases loaded. Hernandez, the center fielder for the Renegade squad. And that one's going to be high. And now the count goes full at 3-2. Hernandez, an easy catch for the second out in the last inning. And that one's going to be high, and that's going to walk a run across, and the Renegades draw first blood. So a timeout called here by Ventura as the team goes out to kind of calm the pitcher. And Magana giving up a run on a walk. And coming to the plate, Cambria Scott now.
You know, Tom, and I'm glad to see that they're sticking with her, that they're not panicking, because this is softball. It's about minimizing the amount of runs that the Renegades get based on them having loaded up these bases early in the game.
Absolutely. And now Cambria Scott coming to the plate, batting .235 with an on-base percentage of .381. Magana still with bases loaded, one out here in the bottom of the first. One run across for the Renegades, and they lead 1-0. That one just high and outside, and now the count's 1-0. A beautiful day out here at Bakersfield College. The sun is shining, but it's not too bad. We're actually kind of enjoying this, Julian.
Yeah, we couldn't have picked a better day. I think you had something to do with it, and you're just not saying.
Pretty fantastic weather for a baseball game, and that one's going to be inside. Temperatures today in Bakersfield supposed to reach 71 degrees. And, of course, be sure to come back at 3 o'clock for our basketball game. The men's game today from the Renegade Athletics Center. We'll be broadcasting that one at 3 o'clock, and the women's game follows around 5 o'clock. Swing and a miss. And now it's 2 balls, 1 strike to count to Emily Hernandez. Well, and I missed the walk on that, so I apologize. That's Cambria Scott. That one just outside. Now the count goes to 3-1. One out here in the bottom of the first. 3-1 the count. That one's going to be high, and she's going to walk another run across. And now 2 runs walked in by Magana in the bottom of the first inning. A limited squad with Ventura. Only 12 players on their roster. So 2 bench players playing for them today that have not been activated yet. And Andrea Barajas, the catcher for the Renegades, now at the plate with runners at first, second, and third. Swung on down the line, and it hit the base. It looked like it appeared to hit the base, but they're saying that that one was on the wrong side, called foul. And we'll go back and take a look at that one.
I will tell you right now, it was a good call. It was a good call.
Julian Wilson has a monitor in front of him, so he's watching stuff that I don't see.
Yes, I'm looking right at it. Yeah.
And that one driven into center field. Oh, back to get it. And dropped the ball. It hit her mitt. And Izzy Padilla thought she had a beat on it, but the sun was kind of shining out there too. And I think that one got caught up in the sunlight, and she missed it, and 2 runs come across for the Renegades. So a double and 2 RBIs for Andrea Barajas. And now the Renegades, 1 down and 4 runs across in this inning, with Lily Visser now coming to the plate. Pitch hits the outside corner. And Magana ahead in the count for the first time in the inning now. No balls, one strike to count. Another one outside, and she's going to get the call on that one too. Now she's ahead 0-2. Visser, of course, the pitcher for the Renegades, hoping she's going to get some of those same calls in her favor. That one was a little too far outside. And now the count goes to 2-1. Or 1-2, rather. Visser, the 8th hitter in the order for the Renegades here in the first inning. BC scored 4 runs, 1 out. That one's outside. And now the count goes even at 2-2. Magana looking for the signal. Here's the delivery. Swung on and just popped into center field. Left center, and 1 run will score. And now the Renegades have 5 across in the inning. And a single and an RBI for Lily Visser. Bella Harrison, the 9th batter in the order for the Renegades now coming up to bat. Harrison, the second baseman. Harrison on the season batting .133 and 15 plate appearances. So try to get something going here to pad her stats. That pitch was outside. Now the count's 1 ball, no strikes. We have the annual Play for K event going on here at Bakersfield College today for the women's basketball game to support breast cancer awareness. We have a graphic for that we'll put up here later in the show where you can scan the QR code to donate to the cause. And Julian, what was it we were being told? Everybody that donates gets a specific amount
they get.
They get something.
They get something. Yeah, very nice.
We still don't have it yet. I think it was a pom-pom.
Yes, we didn't get all that information, but we want you to be aware that that is happening right now today at BC.
Yeah, 2 balls, 1 strike, the count to Bella Harrison.
Now, Tom, where are we as far as the rule? The Renegades are up 5-0.
They are up 5-0. And that pitch is going to be a strike and a stolen base for Visser. Finds her way down to second. And now the count comes even at 2-2.
Yeah. We have the 8-run rule. So I think Ventura is going to have to be careful not to get down too soon.
Absolutely.
Game.
Right now, that 8-run is at the plate. And Bella Harrison is due. Swung on, and that's going to get through the gap. And the shortstop was covering inside, and Harrison's going to take advantage of the throw down to all the way to the catcher, and she's going to make it out to second, but will be credited for a single. But she's also going to get an RBI. So Bella Harrison with a hit and an RBI, and that's definitely going to help her statistics. And now Lexi Rowland back up once again. And it looks like right now, Julia Tamai is having a little conversation with the official, and I'm not sure if she's making a change. So a player has been substituted in.
But it's not.
But out into the outfield.
Right.
So the center fielder just brought into the game as number 18. Well, I thought he said 18, but I don't have an 18 on their roster, so I don't know who he's referring to. So we'll have to figure out that number here in a bit for you. But it is in the outfield, so the pitcher is being left in. And right now, the position of the shortstop, they've really played to that left side, and that ball wasn't hit too far up the middle, but there's a huge gap in between the pitcher straight on to second base and the shortstop. There was a big gap in there, and that's where that gap was found the last time, and a chance for a double play was missed. And now, once again, Lexi Rowland up to bat. 6 runs across here in the bottom of the first inning. And that one swung on, and it's out into left field. And a nice catch by Paisley Magdaleno. And 2 away now. And now Sophie Oliver coming up to bat. Oliver got a hit already in the inning and scored. Actually, was the first run to score in this inning before the Renegades went on a 6-run tirade here in the bottom of the first. That one's going to hit the outside corner, and the count's tied up now at 1-1. So BC with 6 runs, and the Pirates trying to stop the bleeding. Would really like to find a way out of this inning. Agonia's pitch high and outside. And the count is now 1-1. They had 1 ball up on the scoreboard. They hadn't blanked it out, so it was ahead 1 ball already. We've had some issues with some of our scoreboards here at Bakersfield College. That one right down the line, just past the third baseman. And a good job. Lily Visser was rounding the corner. And so was Bella Harrison. Both score, and now that's 8 runs that the Renegades have scored.
Yeah, we're going to have to double check.
And a second hit in the inning. Well, I'm not really sure of the rule on that. Obviously, they haven't called anything because the game is still going. And I can't imagine that they would run rule this thing in the first inning. You may have to be past this particular inning. We have to really look at the rule on that.
Yeah.
Between high school softball and college softball, I've really not been up on my rules very good. And usually some of the rules in different, baseball versus softball versus basketball.
And the thing is that they change.
Yeah.
Especially between high school and college.
Pitch on the outside, and now the count goes to 2-0. Bea Magani's gotten roughed up a little bit here in the first inning. There are 2 outs. And the issue so far really hasn't been, oh, wow, and that one popped way up in the air. But Paisley Magdaleno is going to get underneath it, and that's going to be the 3rd out of the inning. But not after the Renegades get 8 runs across in the bottom of the first. Back with more after this.
Hi Bakersfield, I'm Alexia Ramirez and I play for the women's basketball team here at Bakersfield College. This Saturday, we're hosting our Play for K game to help support and raise money for all women's cancers. You can help by donating in the link below or at the door. Hope to see you guys here this Saturday. Go Gades!
Lily Visser In the circle for the Renegades, she'll face Aubrey Aguirre, Erica Sanchez, and Sophie Valencia here in the top of the second inning. That first pitch outside for a ball. Aubrey Aguirre. There aren't any stats on some of the Ventura College players, and it said that if they hadn't had so many at-bats, or hadn't averaged that many at-bats, that they hadn't registered yet. So we don't have a ton of stats for some of the players. Aguirre at first base. And you may have spotted her in the beginning of the inning, just coming over and tapping her pitcher. And a big swing on that one. That one skied up in the air. And Emily Hernandez comes over and makes the play and cut off Sophie Oliver. And the two of them out there in left center. Oliver kind of a little bit of a giggle out there.
You know, and it's amazing that they get that close. You know, they practice this stuff all the time. It's amazing that they get that close. They practice this all the time, calling for the fly ball.
You know what else is amazing? That you didn't know your mic was off. So
there's that. And I don't know who turned it off.
Yeah, I did. It's a one down here in the top of the second inning. First pitch in there for a strike. Erica Sanchez, the second baseman, up to bat. Sanchez batting .500, one of the best hitters on the squad. One ball, one strike. Here's the pitch. That one just a bit high. Now the count's 2 balls and 1 strike. Sanchez appearing in all 6 games so far on the season with 10 hits and 4 RBIs. So the leader on this squad for Ventura, that one's fouled off out of play. And the count goes even at 2-2. And in the background, I don't know if they can, the fans can hear it, but the baseball game just started. Bakersfield College is playing a game here. That game started at 12 today. And Emily Hernandez, second catch of the inning for the second out. And Sophia Valencia now coming to the plate in her first appearance of the game. So 2 down here in the top of the second. First pitch called strike. Renegades leading 8-0 over the Ventura College Pirates. Valencia at third base. She's batting .222 rather. 4 hits and an RBI on the season. No balls, 2 strikes. As Visser is ahead in the count. That one's going to be driven once again into short center field, but heading that one off, Bella Harrison. 3 up, 3 down once again. Renegades with an 8-0 lead back after this.
Hi Bakersfield, I'm Alexia Ramirez and I play for the women's basketball team here at Bakersfield College. This Saturday, we're hosting our Play for K game to help support and raise money for all women's cancers. You can help by donating in the link below or at the door. Hope to see you guys here this Saturday. Go Gades!
Welcome back. Today is Play for K event for the women's basketball program coming up at 5 o'clock tonight. On screen, there's a QR code, and you can donate to the K Yao Cancer Fund. Your donation helps support women in cancer getting supportive care and equipment that they need right here in Kern County. Those attending today's women's basketball game will receive free pom-poms by donating at the door and showing your proof of donation to the K Yao Cancer Fund. The BC women's basketball team thanks you for your support and supporting the K Yao Cancer Fund. A new pitcher here in the top of the third inning. Paisley Magdaleno now. Magdaleno in the circle. And her pitching stats are not known yet. Only two pitchers we have so far have been Magana and Estrella, one of the other pitchers on this squad, so we don't have any stats on her. But she comes into the circle inheriting an 0-2 lead, or inheriting an 0-2 deficit, rather, and lead by the Renegades. And I said the third. We're only in the second.
Yes, we're only in the second.
Wow.
Right
My mistake, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize for the oversight.
You know, that first inning was long. We don't get many of those. And so,
yeah, we sure don't. So Magdaleno has her hands full here in an uphill battle. And a fast pitch strike, and now the count's even at 1-1. That pitch outside. Liz Alderetti at the dish. Walked in the first inning and scored. And that one's going to be inside in the dirt. Three balls, one strike to count to Alderetti. And Magdaleno coming into the game in the second inning already. A swing and a miss. And the count goes even at 3-2. And we're trying to stay focused here because that music from the baseball game is coming in right behind us.
Well, it's right behind
us.
It
is literally right behind us. And motorcycles going around, and that one hit into center field. That will be headed off. And one away in the bottom of the second inning. And honestly, I think Paisley Magdaleno probably had a big sigh of relief getting out of that. You know, she was a little behind in that count. And you just don't want to walk somebody when you come into the game, especially when you're trying to dig yourselves out of a hole.
Exactly.
And a solid hit into center field headed off by Izzy Padilla. And one away now in the bottom of the second. Pitch on the outside corner. No balls, one strike to count. And up to bat, Emily Hernandez, the center fielder. And Hernandez has been all over the place out there in center field, make quite a few plays so far. Swing and a miss, and now she's behind in the count 0-2. And I think that's Robert Chavez, who broadcast the game last night, who's doing the PA duties today.
That is Mr. Chavez.
We are not broadcasting the baseball game because we're broadcasting this one. It can't be in more than one place at a time. Swung on and driven into left field. And Hernandez with her first hit of the game now. And Cambria Scott, the first baseman, now coming up to bat. And BC at 2-4 has not had a great deal of success so far on the season, but granted, it's early. And sometimes you play some preseason games that are pretty hefty ones. And you do a little bit of traveling, and sometimes that wears on you a little bit. Nice to get home. And literally, you got to think that the team's thinking pretty well about how they've been able to score. And that one driven into right field, and a great catch out there by Sammy Soto. Soto And she was playing off the line anyway with that right-handed batter of Scott, but it was driven hard, and she had to move and gets the diving catch, and now 2 away, 2 up, 2 down, which is unfamiliar territory for this squad so far in today's game for the Pirates. So Magdaleno coming in and shutting down the Renegades so far. And Hernandez gets the stolen base. And a lot of noise coming out of the dugout. Everyone rooting on Emily Hernandez with that stolen base.
There's always a lot of noise coming out of the dugout.
There is a lot.
Always. Nice pitch.
Nice pitch call for a strike. So Andrea Barajas now up to bat the catcher. And that one, and it's going to drop for the third out of the inning. A great play out there in center field by Izzy Padilla. So 4 up and 3 down. Nobody scores. And Ventura with a little bit of light in that inning. They trail 8-0. Back with more after this.
Hi Bakersfield, I'm Alexia Ramirez and I play for the women's basketball team here at Bakersfield College. This Saturday, we're hosting our Play for K game to help support and raise money for all women's cancers. You can help by donating in the link below or at the door. Hope to see you guys here this Saturday. Go Gades!
Well, we looked up the run rule during the break, and the run rule is if the opposing team of either team is up more than 8 runs after 5 innings of play, they can declare the game over. So we're not anywhere near that. But, boy, what a great job by Ventura College in shutting down the Renegades in the second inning.
Exactly.
And 2 fantastic diving catches out there in center and right field.
Yes, and Ventura's always been capable of that. It's just a matter. When you have a bad start, it's just hard to get through it. But they did a really great job of getting through that.
Jayla Rea now up to bat, the designated player on the Ventura squad. That one swung on and popped out into left field. Easily taken care of by Sophie Oliver and 1 away here in the top of the third. So surprisingly, BC, 4 batters up, but shut down 3. All 3 of those outs were fly balls into the outfield, and not easy ones at that. So
Right.
A good job by the Pirates, really putting the Renegades kind of on their heels with a new pitcher that had come in for that inning in Magdaleno. So 1 fly out to left by Jayla Reyes so far in the inning, and Izzy Padilla now coming to the plate. Pitch inside and in the dirt, and the count's 1-0.
Tom, you think about baseball and softball. What team out of either one of those sports hasn't found themselves in a position where they're down early? I mean, it's part of the sport for sure.
And you can watch that lead start to dissipate really quickly. And BC almost found that out the hard way a couple of weeks ago when they were taking on Moore Park. Moore Park was coming back in that game.
Yes.
BC was ahead 9-1 at one point, and the final score on the game I think was 12-10. So nice changeup by Lily Visser, and really just kind of set Izzy Padilla back on her heels. And that's a tough one. You got a fastball coming, and that's the one thing in softball that I really enjoy is the pitching. And the quality of some of those pitches can get a little crazy. And a swing on and a miss, and that one looked like it had a little tail away. And now 2 down here in the top of the third. And so far, every inning so far for Lily Visser has been 3 up, 3 down. So she is in control right now and tossing a perfect game and her first strikeout so far of the day. And now Leah Hicks up to bat, the catcher for Ventura. Hicks in 14 at bats so far on the season has 4 hits and an RBI, batting .286. That one over to second base and covered. And once again, 3 up, 3 down for the Renegades. BC in control as we head to the bottom of the third, score 8-0.
Hi Bakersfield, I'm Alexia Ramirez and I play for the women's basketball team here at Bakersfield College. This Saturday, we're hosting our Play for K game to help support and raise money for all women's cancers. You can help by donating in the link below or at the door. Hope to see you guys here this Saturday. Go Gades!
Back for the bottom of the third inning, Renegades leading the Ventura College Pirates 8-0. And Lily Visser now up to the plate. Visser, the pitcher for the Renegade squad, tossing a perfect one so far. And a couple of really good pitches in that last appearance of her in the circle. A really, really just crazy changeup. Visser, a hit in the first inning that scored a run. And so far, BC looking really good with an 8-0 lead. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Swung on, out into center field. That's going to drop for a hit. And Visser's going to be on board with her second of the game. And now Bella Harrison coming up to the plate. Harrison also got a hit and an RBI in that first inning. BC went through the entire order all the way up to the number 3 batter in that first inning. So they had 12 batters in that first inning.
Wow.
That pitch was outside, and now the count's 1-0. So Harrison now swings over to shortstop. Good job by Yaya Landeros throwing that one out, and one down now. So back to the top of the order now. Lexi Rowland up to bat. Rowland had her 2 at-bats in that first inning. She got a hit, but then she got thrown out at home plate on that passed ball that bounced off the net right back to the catcher, who just tossed it over to the pitcher to get her out on her way trying to score. And there's not a lot of room behind the plate here. And on standard softball diamonds, there isn't a lot of room. I mean, this is a much smaller space than a baseball field for obvious reasons.
You can almost consider it a short field. It's a short field.
But the best part about it is it makes it such a much more intimate, close game, and it's just faster pace. These players have far less reaction time than baseball players do.
Exactly. The ball's right on top.
The ball's right on top of you. Absolutely. And they've been playing a little deep, and now Lily Visser going to make her way over to third base and her second stolen base in this appearance. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Lexi Rowland. Here in the bottom of the 3rd inning, Renegades leading 8-0 over the Ventura College Pirates. Rowland with that hit into left field, and she's going to fly out, but a tagging Visser stops, holds herself up, and now 2 down. And the second fly out to left of the day for Lexi Rowland. Sophie Oliver, the left fielder, now coming up to bat. Oliver with 2 hits in the first inning. That one in the dirt just in front of the plate. Good stop by Leah Hicks getting in front of it. Some of those are a little tough because they're bouncing. And the topspin is on the ball, unlike baseball where it's going back. Pitch in there for a strike, and now the count's even at 1-1. Sophie Oliver out of Frontier High School, batting .267 this year. In 15 plate appearances, she scored 3 runs and gotten 3 hits. And that one they call foul. And now it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Over to shortstop. Landeros fires over to first base. And that's going to do it once again. As Paisley Magano gets out of the inning. Magdalena, rather, gets out of the inning. And BC comes up short in innings 2 and 3. We're going to head to the 4th after this.
Hi Bakersfield, I'm Alexia Ramirez and I play for the women's basketball team here at Bakersfield College. This Saturday, we're hosting our Play for K game to help support and raise money for all women's cancers. You can help by donating in the link below or at the door. Hope to see you guys here this Saturday. Go Gades!
Back for the top of the fourth inning. Our apologies for the delay. Having a little bit of a shade structure problem up here on top of the press box here at Bakersfield College Softball Complex. One away. And the count 2-1. One swung on and driven. Just foul. And Oliver trying to race over to get it, just short. Short by about 2 feet on that one. But just popped up out of play. Sammy Soto now up to bat. Count even at 2-2. Having a little conversation with her coach down there at third base. Saw something in her swing that she wants her to correct. And it may just be where they're pitching her. That one was outside and she was a little late on it. And that one swung on into center field. Dropping back, Emily Hernandez almost to the warning track. And now 2 away. And once again, Lily Visser still remaining perfect in the game. So fly out to center for Sammy Soto with Yaya Landeros now coming up to bat and 2 away here in the top of the fourth inning. Landeros, the shortstop, grounded out to third in the first inning. That one on the inside corner for a called strike, and the count's 0-1. BC defense has really been there to back up Lily Visser so far today. Pitch fouled back, and now the count's 0-2. Only 1 strikeout, if you can believe that, for Visser, and that was against Izzy Padilla in the third inning. So she's only got 1 strike, but otherwise everything in zeros, and definitely getting the help. And now she's going to help herself. That one thrown over to first base. Once again, 3 up, 3 down. Renegades lead the Ventura College Pirates 8-0. Back with the bottom of the fourth inning after this.
Hi Bakersfield, I'm Alexia Ramirez and I play for the women's basketball team here at Bakersfield College. This Saturday, we're hosting our Play for K game to help support and raise money for all women's cancers. You can help by donating in the link below or at the door. Hope to see you guys here this Saturday. Go Gades!
Alexia Martinez to head off the fourth inning for the Renegades. She walked and flew out to left in the first inning. Swing and a miss, and the count's 0-1. And hats off to Paisley Magdaleno coming in here after being 8-0 and down and shutting down the Renegades so far in the last 2 innings.
And you know that's the difference in the game. That is literally the difference. This has been even the rest of the way.
Swung on inside and missed, and now the count's 0-2. And it may not even be the overpowering pitching because she hasn't struck anybody out. But the key to it, really, if you think about it, is the quality of the flyouts. They're just pop-ups, really, and that's kind of what happens on some of these pitchers when they get the ball in a certain spot. The pitcher can't get a bead on it quite as well, so they may miss just that part of the ball because there's movement that the pitcher's putting on it. And Magdaleno's obviously come in here and hasn't walked anybody yet, and really fighting for the Ventura College team. And she's blanked the Renegades in the last 2 innings. They came out, scored 8 runs in the first inning, and haven't done anything since. And that one now driven on into left field. And the first hit of the game for Alexia Martinez, with nobody out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. And Liz Alderetti now coming up to bat, the designated player. Alderetti walked in the first inning and flew out to center field in the second. And keep an eye out for Alexia Marquez to race down to second base. That one's going to be popped up, an easy play, and 1 away now. Fly out to the pitcher for Alderetti, and now Emily Hernandez, the center fielder, coming up to bat. Hernandez walked in the first inning and got a hit in the second. And again, BC went through 12 batters in the first inning to score those 8 runs. And that one's going to get away from the catcher. And Marquez makes her way down to second base, and that takes the force play away now. 1 ball, no strikes, and 1 out in the bottom of the 4th. Once again, I'm Tom Myers. Right next to me, Julian Wilson today, our producer, director, audio technician, and all-around good guy.
You've forgotten maintenance man sometimes.
Maintenance man sometimes, yeah.
Because you're handling that, you know.
Well, and if I'm trapped under something heavy and I needed it lifted off to me, there's nobody I would prefer to do it than you. Julian, a rather large fellow.
Oh, jeez. This guy.
He's made of meat. His arms are bigger than my legs.
Wow.
And that one, and a good job holding, but again, taking advantage. That's the second time we've seen a throw into the catcher where the runner has taken advantage and made their way to second base. Hernandez, smart running, and a good job at that by Alexia Marquez rounding the base and then got stopped by the third base coach. So both the first base coach and the third base coach working together to plan that. And now the Renegades have runners at second and third, and the first time Paisley Magdaleno for Ventura has seen any trouble with 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Cambria Scott now up to bat. First pitch in there for a strike, and the count's 0-1. So 2 hits so far for Hernandez today in the game. Swung on into center field. Hernandez back to get it, Padilla back to get it. And a run comes across. And Scott flies out to center, but brings in a run and has an RBI. Hernandez somehow found her way over to third base on that play and had to tag. I don't know if the center fielder was paying much attention to her, but now she's easily in scoring position. 1 run across, 2 outs. That one right back. So 1 run comes across here in the bottom of the 4th inning. 1 runner left aboard. The 5th inning coming up.
Hi Bakersfield, I'm Alexia Ramirez and I play for the women's basketball team here at Bakersfield College. This Saturday, we're hosting our Play for K game to help support and raise money for all women's cancers. You can help by donating in the link below or at the door. Hope to see you guys here this Saturday. Go Gades!
Back for the top of the 5th inning. BC ahead 9-0 over Ventura College. And boy, I'll tell you what, you don't want to take anything away from Paisley Magdaleno coming in for Ventura, only giving up 1 run so far in 3 innings of work. Has really done her job, but boy, she had a mountain to climb because they were behind from the beginning, 8-0 after that 1st inning. And a changeup in there for a strike, and the count's 0-1. Aubrey Aguirre, the first baseman, now up to bat for Ventura. And you can't say it too often, but Visser tossing a perfect game right now. And that one driven hard over the left field side, out of bounds, completely out of the field. And Aguirre just turned on that one and just drove it like a rocket. Aguirre in that number 4 spot for a reason. Pitch outside. Now the count's 1-2. Lily Visser, perfect so far in the game. She's faced 12 batters and retired all 12. Swung on and missed. And that one they're saying was tipped off. And Andrea Barajas almost caught it. Had she caught it, that would have been an out. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. And the pitch. That one's high and outside. Now the count goes even at 2-2. You know, Julian, we got a lot of stuff going on up here today.
Yes, we do.
It's a little busy. Got a baseball game, a softball game, and 2 basketball games, and another softball game.
And another
They've
softball
got a
game,
4:30 game here at Bakersfield College as well that I forgot to mention. That one's going to be fouled off out of play. Count remains 2-2.
Well, I tell you,
Bakersfield College has a softball game coming up at 4:30 as well today. So if you didn't get a chance to make it out to this one and you still want to come to a softball game, there is another opportunity to make it here today at 4:30. And admission is free all season long.
All season long, yes.
That one's going to be low and in the dirt. And now the count goes full.
And I'm going to tell you right now, Aguirre does not want to walk. She's trying to find a ball she can hit.
Well, she's had a couple of really strong swings so far. Here's the full, and that one's going to be driven into center field. Emily Hernandez tracking it very well. And 1 away now. And you could kind of see Aubrey Aguirre heading back to the dugout after high-fiving her coach, Julia Tamai. And she just kind of, you know, what else can we do? I mean, she's battling the whole way and got 7 or 8 pitches out of Lily Visser off of that one. And a nice bunt laid down. Oh, and she's safe.
Let's look.
Trying to figure out where the call was on that. And I don't know if she pulled her foot off the bag, the official not giving any kind of an indication. But the first hit of the game for Erica Sanchez, finding her way down the line, and a fantastic bunt. Boy, the ball just died on the bat right there. And Lily Visser did everything she could to chase that one down and try to gun down the runner at first base. And that one, now, Sophie Valencia, that one almost behind her, and that hits her right off the leg. And now 2 runs on, and a timeout is going to get called by the Renegades, and they kind of want to settle down Lily Visser a little bit now. And we didn't really, like I said, I was looking down at first base to see what the call may have been on that. Had she beat the call. And we're still looking for, are we going to get a replay on that, Julian Wilson? Julian Wilson's going to give us a replay on it. So she was making her way down the line. And again.
And we had a little bit of a delay in that safe call.
Yeah, a little bit. He was thinking about it.
He was thinking about it.
But a good job by Aubrey Aguirre just hustling down the line. And then following that, hey, give it up for Erica Sanchez. Staying in there and taking the hit. And now 2 runners on with 1 away here in the top of the 5th inning. An unfamiliar territory so far for Ventura. And now up to bat, Sophie Valencia. Valencia flew out to second base, popped up. 1 ball, 1 strike. The count to Valencia. So a perfect game was going the way of Lily Visser up until 2 batters ago. That one's going to be outside. Now the count's 2-1. And you could tell, I don't know how that really works sometimes, what goes through players' minds.
Right.
But obviously, she knows she was tossing a gem. And then when you don't get the call down at first base, that might do a little something to your psyche. That one swung on, and it's going to be into left field. Covered quickly by Oliver and back in. But now 3 hits in the inning.
You're right, Tom.
I digress. 2 hits in the inning.
Yes.
But wow, just, one of those things.
You never know with any athlete what changes their momentum. What play, what call, you just don't know.
And so now a little bit of a change in the batting order here. So number 1, Abby Ibarra. So Ibarra's going to make her way in now with bases loaded. And the first pitch called a ball. So another pitch in there for a ball. And Lily Visser needs to calm down and get back in the zone that she was in with bases loaded here, only 1 out. And Ventura knocking on the door. Breaking ball in there for a strike. And that one had a little bit of movement on it. A good pitch.
And she's thinking she wants to close this out. She really does.
Absolutely. So Abby Ibarra and fouls that one off. And now the count's 2-2. And Visser kind of clawing her way back in this battle. That one swung on and fouled back to the net. Count remains 2-2. So Abby Ibarra, one of the only 2 bench players listed on the squad today for Ventura. They don't have a lot of extra players. Only 12 players suited up for the game today. That one driven just over the outstretched hands Bella Harrison, and one run comes across, and here comes another one, and it's going to beat the tag. And a throw down to third, and that one's no good. Off the hands of Alexia Martinez. And 2 runs now across. And Abby Ibarra with a base hit and 2 RBIs here in the top of the 5th inning. And the score is 9-2 with 1 away. So a little bit of light for the Ventura College Pirates. And Ibarra comes off the bench and pinch hits to get 2 RBIs. And now runners at second and third with 1 out. And the first pitch in there is high, and the count's 1-0. And again, up until the inning, Visser had retired 12 runners in a row, 12 hitters in a row. And one fouled off out of play, and now it's 1-1. So she was in control. And I don't want to say she's out of control yet. A couple of plays that just good hits by Ventura, finally starting to read the ball a little bit better and able to drive it. And, of course, that last one just off the mid of Bella Harrison at second base and into right field. And had she been playing a half a step back, she probably would have got that ball.
Yes. Well, they were well-placed hits, both hits.
Absolutely.
That led to those 2 scores.
That one right back at the pitcher.
She wasn't ready.
And a throw over to first base is going to be late, and a run's going to come across. And I don't know if Lexi Rowland at shortstop should have gunned to home instead of going to first base, because she had no chance at first base.
Right.
And had a much better chance at home plate. But a run comes across, and now 3 runs are scored. And they're going to give credit to Leah Hicks with a hit there. And now, a time called. And the Renegades getting a little bit of time to kind of calm down as Casey Goodman makes her way out to the mound to try to settle down her pitcher.
Yeah, and Tom, that was a good observation. That last hit, her idea would have been to protect home plate. That was an easier play for her than first base.
Absolutely. And it looked as though, and granted, we're watching it from up here, so it's easy to see, but the play really was at the plate on that. Andrea Barajas was ready to field the ball, but Lexi Rowland, for some reason, didn't even give home plate a chance and fired it over to first base. And, we don't always see what they see, obviously. And I'm not being critical of anybody that makes a play,
right.
But I thought the easier play would have been at home plate, and maybe some of the viewers at home feel the same way or feel differently. It's completely up to you. BC still in command, but wow, how about this? 3 runs across here in the top of the 5th inning for Ventura in what could have been a run-ruled game.
Exactly.
Now, we don't know if they would have run-ruled the game because it's at the discretion, I believe, of the official and the coaches. Pitch in there for a strike. Back to the top of the order, Bam Magana at the plate. And Magana, I don't know why she pulled away from that. It was a strike. Usually that's the one you want to bunt. And a couple of really good bunts so far. A tough inning so far for Lily Visser. And just a couple of really good plays by Ventura. A couple of great hits and a couple of ones that just went the wrong way for BC and the right way for Ventura. We saw the one right back at the mound. And, that's a lot. Lily Visser has, a rocket coming right back at her. That's a hard catch. And that one swung on over and a big mistake at third base. And they'll gun her out. But a little bit of damage being done by Ventura as they put 3 runs up on the board here in the top of the 5th inning. For the Renegades coming up next. It'll be Visser, Harrison, and Rowland back for the bottom of the 5th inning after this.
Hi Hi, Bakersfield. I'm Alexia Ramirez, and I play for the women's basketball team here at Bakersfield College. This Saturday, we're hosting our Play for K game to help support and raise money for all women's cancers. You can help by donating in the link below or at the door. Hope to see you guys here this Saturday. Go Gades!
Back for the bottom of the fifth inning, Lily Visser up to bat. Visser a little roughed up in that inning, giving up 3 runs, but the Renegades still ahead 9-3 here in the bottom of the fifth inning. It'll be Visser, Harrison, and back to the top of the order with Lexi Rowland in this inning. And some changes being made out there right now, which we have not been told just yet, but we probably will get some information on those. And maybe we won't. They haven't given us anything yet. But Paisley Magdaleno only giving up 1 run over the last 3 innings, after the Renegades put up 8 runs in that first inning. Pitch off the outside and low. 1 ball, no strikes. BC a little bit of success in the last inning. And Cambria Scott drove in the run. It was Alexia Martinez that scored. But other than that, there was a fly out to the pitcher, a fly out to center, and a ground out to the pitcher. So Magdaleno really doing her own job here, trying to save face on this one and get the Pirates back into it. Now trailing only by 6. That pitch just misses high. And kind of funny on that one because you're looking at it, and the catcher, Leah Hicks, kind of held on to that one for a second just to make sure that the referee saw, or the umpire saw where it was. 3 balls, no strikes. And that one about in the same spot as the last pitch, but he gets the called strike on that one, and now the count's 3 balls, 1 strike to Lily Visser. A lot of echoing going on here. Some cheering going on in the dugout for BC. That one swung on and popped up into the gap in center field. Trying to get back. Izzy Padilla can't get it. It's at the wall. And into second. Lily Visser with a stand-up double. So Visser with her 3rd hit of the game. 3 hits, and an RBI today. So helping her cause. And now Bella Harrison, the second baseman, up to bat. She got a hit and an RBI in the first inning and then grounded out to shortstop in the 3rd. Magdaleno looking for the call from the dugout. That one's off the plate. And the count's 1 ball, no strikes. You know, fans, today is Play for K event for the women's basketball program at 5 p.m. Looking forward to a fun event there. Your donations help support women with cancer to get supportive care and equipment they need. Those attending today's basketball game will receive free pom-poms by donating at the door. And we have had a QR code that we've been putting up throughout the game. You can simply click on that to donate to the K. Yao Cancer Fund. The BC women's basketball team thanks you for your support and supporting the K. Yao Cancer Fund. 2 balls, no strikes. The count to Bella Harrison. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning. Renegades leading Ventura College 9-3. And that one's going to be outside, high rather. And that'll send Harrison down to first base. And now there's runners at first and second with nobody away. Lexi Rowland, the shortstop, now up to bat. Rowland a hit in the first inning, but a fly out to left as well. And then another fly out to left in the third. So either they've done a scouting report on her to tell them to put it high and inside, or that is her tendency to swing on a ball early. Pitch comes in high, and now the count's 1 ball, no strikes. And a timeout is going to get called here. And that way, Julia Tamai can have a conversation with her pitcher, kind of settle her in. Once again, getting back to an unfamiliar spot so far for Paisley Magdaleno. Magdaleno's had it pretty, I don't want to say pretty easy. She's earned everything she's gotten so far, only giving up 1 run over 3 innings.
Right. I'm very impressed with her coming in. She came in a very tough spot for any pitcher, not just her. So she's done a great job. I don't see a reason to pull her right now. She is actually still doing a great job.
Well, and as some people know, I mean, this is a limited staff of only 12 players on this Ventura College squad today. And so you don't have a lot of places to go in the pitching spot in some cases. And we only had stats on 2 pitchers on their squad to begin with, right. And Magdaleno wasn't one of them. So there is another pitcher that they could potentially bring in, and that would be Emma Estrella. And Estrella has pitched 20 innings, and she struck out 29. So either they're saving her for something or she isn't here today. And honestly, I don't think I even saw her on the roster today, so I'll have to double check on that. And that one popped up to center field. And running in to make the catch, Izzy Padilla. So now 1 away. Runner still at 1 at first and second. And Sophie Oliver coming to the plate. Sophie Oliver with 2 hits in that first inning, scoring rampage by the Renegades.
You know, Tom, and we'll need to keep in mind, Ventura has a game right after this with Riverside.
Oh,
so
wow.
They may be holding that additional picture
Estrella,
for that game.
Absolutely. First pitch called strike. The count's 0-1. Sophie Oliver grounded out to short in the third. That one swung up, popped up right back to the pitcher. So 2 away now. And it seems like the last 2 batters, which were the 1 and 2 batters in the order for the Renegades, easily handled by Magdaleno. And now Magdaleno is going to face Alexia Marquez, the third baseman. Marquez walked in the first and flew out to left in the first, and then got a hit in the fourth. Runners at first and second with 2 out in the bottom of the 5th inning. Lily Visser started off the inning with nobody out and got 1 hit and then managed her way down to second base after Bella Harrison got walked. And since then, the last 2 have been retired, and that one's going to get past Leah Hicks. And both runners will advance now to second and third. 2 balls and no strikes to Alexia Marquez.
And there we again with that Alexia. So many of these women named Alexia.
Well, and I'm having trouble reading because it's awfully bright out today, and my screen doesn't really allow me to see it very well, so I apologize to any parents or family members of some of our players today. I'm doing the best I can with limited technology.
We got enough to work with.
We're working with a lot.
We got enough to work with.
2 balls, 1 strike, the count to Marquez. Marquez once again with a hit in that last inning. That one's high, and now the count's going to go to 3-1. Magdaleno can afford possibly to walk Marquez here, because facing her after that is Liz Alderetti, who was walked and flew out to center and flew out to the pitcher. So she's 0 for 3. And that one's not going to happen as it's driven into left field. 2 runs come across, and heads up running.
And I
by
don't know,
Bella Harrison.
That may be the game.
And that is what they're going to call the game. The run rule has been established, and BC is going to finish the game and win 11-3. The run rule is in effect after the 5th inning. So BC takes this one over the Ventura College Pirates 11-3. We'll be back with our final thoughts right after this.
Hi Bakersfield, I'm Alexia Ramirez and I play for the women's basketball team here at Bakersfield College. This Saturday, we're hosting our Play for K game to help support and raise money for all women's cancers. You can help by donating in the link below or at the door. Hope to see you guys here this Saturday. Go Gades!
Welcome back. Today's player of the game for the Renegades, Lily Visser, the pitcher, 3 hits and 1 RBI, and scored a couple of runs as well. What a fantastic day for Visser.
Yeah, what a fantastic day for the Renegades, and what a fantastic day. I'm trying to imagine, I thought we were in winter, but we've had a beautiful spring day.
Yeah, around 67, 68 degrees right now. The game was run ruled in the 5th inning as the Renegades led by more than, it's 8 or more, so it's 11-3, and that's the final score. BC improves now to 3-4 on the season, and Ventura drops to 5-1. They do have another game, as you said, coming up here in a little bit, as they're playing a doubleheader as well as BC is playing a doubleheader today, but not against the same competition, obviously.
Right.
So really kind of looking forward to that. A fantastic day. Once again, if you see the QR code on the screen, be sure to click on that and donate to the K-Yao Cancer Fund. Once again, we have a basketball game. The ladies' game is the pink game today up here at Bakersfield College. That game time is set for 5 o'clock tentatively right now. It's right after the men's basketball game coming up. BC also has another game today at 4:30 where they'll be playing. They're going to get a little bit of a break here. Bakersfield College baseball finishing off a 3rd game set over on the diamond, and their game in about, I think, the 4th or 5th inning right now. But, we'd love to have some fans. If they want to come up, admission is free to get into the games today. We're really looking forward to a couple of more broadcasts today. We'll be doing the broadcast for basketball at 3 o'clock and the women's game again at 5. For everybody here at Bakersfield College, this is Tom Myers, and that was Julian Wilson. We'll see you next time, everybody.
Bakersfield College Athletics thanks you for watching this broadcast. For more BC Athletics sports videos, highlights, and replays, subscribe to Bakersfield College Athletics on YouTube. And for news, live broadcasts, and schedule information across all our sports, visit GoGades.com.